Hey guys, Duck here, how's it going? I'm here with another brand new for 2018 Lemax Spooky Town review. Today I have the Eerie-Go-Round, which is a Michaels exclusive. Yes, you can only get this building at Michaels stores this year. Hey, real quick before we get into this, I wanted to give a shout out to some of my Lemax Spooky Town buddies. Check out Halloween channel. He's been doing some really cool Lemax Spooky Town reviews here recently. I'll put a link to his channel in the bottom here. Of course, Ryan's Video Projects. He is sort of a Lemax historian, and he always lets me know, what's what, and we have fun talking about it. He does some Lemax and Department 56 stuff on his channel. Of course, there is Mac and Haunt Former. A lot of you might be familiar with his channel. I'll put a link below here. He does Spooky Town stuff sometimes, and I know he set up his display as a live a couple weeks back. It was fun to watch that. There's Andrew of Andrew's Videos. He does Lemax Spooky Town stuff. He's always fun to talk to. Jaden's Videos does awesome Spooky Town videos. Haunt Spot also does some great Spooky Town stuff. Oh, and also Yard of Terror KY. He just did his Spooky Town display video, which looks really cool. So I'll put links to all those channels below here. Just wanted to give a shout out to some friends of mine. So this is a smaller carousel than some of the other ones that they've done. I recently reviewed the Carousel. You can check that out. Also the Grand Carousel, which is new in their their standard village line, non-Halloween stuff. Both of those are, a traditional like Grand Carousel, a larger carousel, one that you would find in an amusement park or somewhere permanent. I know our zoo has one, like an Old World's Fair carousel that's like that. This one is smaller. It looks more like what you'd find in a portable carnival. I'll tell you exactly what this reminds me of. We actually have an apple orchard / pumpkin patch / farm store across the river in Illinois, and a lot of people go to it in the fall. They've got the you pick pumpkins and apples. They always have a kiddie carnival setup, which it's not permanent. They can move the rides, but they're semi-permanent. You know what I mean? They have the cool airbrushing, some of the detailed designs that you would find in like a traveling carnival, but it's semi-permanent, and they actually have a carousel like this. I wanted to find a picture of it. I could not find a picture online. Of course, it's not pumpkin patch themed like this, but it's smaller to where you don't have multiple rows of, horses or things to ride on. It's just a very small kiddie carousel. And speaking of the kids, let's talk about that on the ride here. So you've got a little fairy who's riding a rat, a mummy that's riding a witch's broom, a little witch that's riding a raven, and another girl who's dressed up like a little animal that's riding a raven. It's cute, right? It's a festive piece. The theming on this, though, is heavily pumpkin patch themed, which, if you're a fan of the Mad Pumpkin Patch like I am, this would go fantastic in that kind of a pumpkin patch scene. The pumpkin head on top glows green. It's actually stylized very similar again to the Mad Pumpkin Patch. Just in general, this really would go well with that. I'm going to for sure display these together. I'm not doing a pumpkin patch this year, but when I bring that theme back, I'm going to do this. I've got a couple little carnival rides to kind of go with what I was explaining about how the the pumpkin patch close to me does the little kiddie carnival. This would be a great pumpkin patch kiddie carnival. Of course, there's the pumpkins on the top, but I particularly like the vines and stalk. The stalk in the middle of it here, which is like the the actual base of the carousel. It is like a big corn stalk. I love how that looks, and the green vines are the other parts of the chassis of it here. Another cool little detail, there are little rats around the base, which, I love little stuff like that. It has good lighting. The pumpkin on top of it, it pulsates. It kind of goes in and out with the green fade. And it's got standard yellow lights that illuminate the children on the carousel, actually. Now, something to note, it is pretty tall. This is not a wide building at all. It's quite thin. It's more vertical than it is wide. Now, be aware that this does not come with a power supply. It comes with batteries. It's got a switch on the back that you can put the volume up and down, and of course I'll play it with the sounds at the end here like I always do in my videos. I'm actually powering this off a Lemax adapter, but of course you can use the batteries if you wish. Still, it would have been nice had this come with a power adapter itself. So for my final ranking on this, I would give it a high 1 out of 3. I would give it a 2 if it came with an adapter, but like I mentioned, it doesn't. I still love the theming on this. I think it looks great because I'm a pumpkin patch nut. And just FYI, in my opinion, I have a feeling that this one is eventually going to become collectible. The carnival pieces typically do not last in production for very long. That's always how it is. Normally you get a couple years of production out of them, and then they become really collectible because, carnivals are a popular theme. All of the pumpkin theme buildings they seem to, you know, be popular. And this one, of course, would go very, very well with the mythical Wild Pumpkins ride, which is a bumper car style ride. That's one I have not been able to get my hands on. That is the #1 Lemax building that I'm trying to find for a reasonable price, but I haven't yet, so you will see that on this channel at some point. But again, though, that would go very well with this, and I just think the pumpkin stuff always holds its value. So yeah, so that's just my opinion on it. I don't have any inside information on that. I just know how typically the carnival piece production works. Alright guys, so thank you very much for watching. And hey, since we're talking carnival pieces, leave in the comments below what's your favorite carnival piece by Lemax. You know, I haven't featured a ton of them. I don't have a very big collection of them. I hope to work on that though. That's actually probably going to be my theme next year, is carnival. So I hope I can acquire a few more of those pieces for next year. It's tough and it's expensive to get them, but I know, you know, I want to do Skull River. I want to do the Wild Pumpkins, as I mentioned. And, you know, just for the heck of it, I was thinking of, you know, carnival rides I'd like to see Lemax do, because they'll reuse some of the chassis from, you know, previous years past in their Christmas line or in their standard lights and sound line, you know, because they do several lines of carnival rides. And I would love to see the zipper style ride. The Lemax, it was called the Zinger, but I would love to see that Halloweenified. You know, you could do it as a chainsaw or something like that. It'd be pretty cool. And again, you can see a picture here of what the Zinger looks like. I don't have one of these in my collection, but I would love to have a Halloween style one of these. So alright guys, so that's my take on the Eerie-Go-Round. Thank you for watching, and as a brief teaser, you know, for next week, the review, we're gonna hop on our broomsticks and we're gonna head to the Witch's Tower. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Here it is with the lights and sound.